age of information we live in, but we are one of the first generations that we're not born with it. The novelty of it is still there, and we feel like if we're not gonna continuously chase after it, we're gonna miss out. What if I missed this? What if I missed this? What if I didn't say this? What if I didn't react? What if I didn't show my support? Or what if I didn't yell at the oppressor? Or whatever it is, right? And I think we're lost in a sea of shit information that we don't have time for anything else.
It's not about you. I say that to myself when I see myself spinning and all this. You take yourself from a macro level and just look above yourself, see all the world around you, and you see it's not about you. There's a collectiveness that is here.
As I was building that person slowly, just kind of piece by piece from different things without even realizing that I was building her as an engineer, as a person who will do rather than dream. Because can I dream? Possibly, but I'm also a person that has very high expectations and my goalpost is constantly moving. Like I will never stop. But I've found solace and pleasure in making other people's dreams come true.
Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to another episode of Love Local Chicagoland podcast, where we're looking to be able to bring the stories of people within our community to the forefront, to be able to show that when we support each other, we come together in community and we learn from each other, that we could make a stronger tomorrow within our communities, my friend. This is show 80, as I was just reminded, and I'm super honored to be able to bring on a good friend, Liz Karsten. She's a tremendous soul with a huge heart. Anything we talk about today is our views, has nothing to do with the companies that we work for or the nonprofits that we serve on. But you see, I wanted to interview her for a few reasons. One, her heart. You'll get to see that she's just real as fuck. And I think that's really awesome. And it comes from such a genuine place of love and caring for other people. I see her show up for people regularly, and I think that if we all do that, we could learn something. I also think that her worldview and the things that she's gone through has helped deepen that. And she really focused, because of her worldview and because she was born in Russia, raised in Russia, lived in Israel for a while, and now in the United States, she is able to give us some knowledge that maybe us as Americans might not see up front. So I am really excited for this show today. We're going to be talking about community. We're going to be talking about belonging, and we're going to be talking about doing life together. And when we focus in on getting into community with people that are like us and people that are different than us, but we're going after a common cause, we can change the world. So I am done talking, but I'm not done talking. I am appreciative to Royal Family Real Estate for sponsoring this show. So appreciate that so much. All right, Liz Karsten, welcome to the show.
I am grateful to be here.
Yeah, I'm grateful to have this conversation. I've been chasing you for quite some time to be able to have this conversation, and you literally have been running away from me. Like, there's no way I'm getting in front of cameras.
You have.
You're an introverted soul with a big heart. I would also call you an empath as well. You feel the energy around you. That's why you say shit and fuck a lot. But usually people that cuss are real as it comes, and you are. So I'm really honored. We've been joking around, having fun. We took a shot of Malort before the show to be able to calm the nerves. But I'm really excited to be able to have this conversation.
I'm afraid to say I'm a little bit excited too.
Okay.
So, I think that the chase was worth it. So thank you. It's a good way to start the year.
The chase is definitely worth it. This is episode 80 for us, which it's humbling to be able to say that. But to have you in the studio finally, to be able to pull your heart out to what our community could learn from you, I think is going to be abundant. So let's do this.
Please be gentle.
I will be gentle. So the first question that I'm going to ask you is, what's on your heart right now that you think people in our local communities need to hear?
Oh, man, that's a big question. A lot. It's always a lot. It's just always kind of a cacophony of sounds and thoughts that go through, I think, everybody's mind lately, right? But I think one of the things that you and I were talking about and just kind of trying to navigate through and figure out is what is happening in the world, but more importantly, how it affects everybody and where do people find solace, right? Where do they go to just get away, focus on something else, and really try to, in a way, find a balance between just spiraling out and feeling good. And I think we've been struggling with that balance a lot. I think we tend to go one or the other very hard, and we don't know where that balance is. So I think what's on my heart, the PC thing on my heart, a lot of other things that are not, but the PC thing on my heart is that where do people find that solace?
Yeah, it's so important. There's things in life that we could control. There's things that we cannot control. And there's cycles of history that if we would open up a history book and learn, and we would see that things might not be exactly the same, but they rhyme. And at the end of the day, to be human is a wave, a lot of waves throughout life. And sometimes the waves are bigger than others. But when you're going through the waves and when you're going through things where we might be put against each other, where there's division in difference of thoughts or differences of opinion, to be able to come down and figure out like yourself and find peace within yourself, which I think that's what you're saying with the solace piece and with others too, but it starts within, right? And you said something to me during our prep conversation that I had to chase you for years.
We're gonna do that?
You said people, I won't do that too often. You said people need to something to be able to look forward to. I 100% agree with you on that. And I think that's really, it's one of the keys to life, to be able to have something to look forward to, something to have gratitude for. Why does that feel so important in this season that we're in?
I think it's about hope, but it's not the hope that politics promises us. It's not the hope that religion promises us. It's not the hope that, media promises us. It's the internal hope. It's that desire to believe that there is still something good coming our way. It's that desire to be a part of that good. I think we're so fed up. Well, I'm not going to speak for everybody. I'm going to speak for myself. I see myself and a lot of people close to me just being so fed up with that helplessness. And because you don't control what you can't control, and that's a very hard lesson to learn, I think what we are wishing for is a better future to look into, a better future to look forward to. And how can we be a part of it? What can we do on a local level? As an individual, what can you do to make the future brighter for yourself, right? Because, the time speeds up, right? We're getting, in the age where time just flies, right? You look around, and the next thing you know, it's 6 months past, and you don't know where the year went.
Yeah, indeed.
Right? So grounding yourself in something that is good, that is hopeful, that is pure, I think helps us keep our feet on the ground and helps us find the right direction with all of that energy, all of that angst, all of that worry, kind of channel it into something that we would internally feel good about.
Yeah. When you said that, it took me back to times in my life where I was struggling, learning, and growing. And I had a lot to learn, and I would go on walks with a good friend who became a mentor as well, and now one of my best friends. And we would talk about life's problems and everything in between on these walks. But at the end of it, he would ask, "What are you looking forward to?" And I look back at those dark seasons of my life, and I think about well, what's next? What do I have to look forward to? Because sometimes that's all you have. And I could honestly say that looking forward to things is, to me, one of the secrets to life. have something to be hopeful for, have something to inspire for, to have something to be excited for, just as you're mentioning. This isn't new. People will say this is unprecedented times. Maybe in America, but this isn't unprecedented times. And politics since the beginning have divided. Religion since the beginning has divided. And I think you see that in my opinion, nobody else's. That's a part of our team. But in my opinion, I think that's the time we're in now, where we're getting pulled into this tornado that we're in. When in all reality, if we come together in community and we find things and focus in on our commonalities, and we focus on things to look forward to, we look to make a positive impact, we could have hope, we could have peace. But if we get pulled into these tornadoes, life gets heavy, right?
It does. It does. It sucks the time out of life.
Yeah, like why, right? Like life's quick. We've noticed that already, especially as we sit here in our late 30s. Or me, I'm a lot older than that. So anyway, let me get on to the next question. You've talked about how easy it is for people to get lost in everything happening around them. What do you see pulling people away from what matters most?
I mean, it's the constant news cycle, right? I think it's the age of information we live in, but we are one of the first generations that we're not born with it. So the novelty of it is still there. And we feel like if we're not going to continuously chase after it, we're going to miss out. What if I missed this? What if I missed this? What if I didn't say this? What if I didn't react? What if I didn't show my support? Or what if I didn't yell at the oppressor? Or whatever it is, right? And I think we're so just lost in a sea of shit information that we don't have time for anything else. We don't have time to stop and ask our friends how they are, how they truly are. Not the, oh, you good? Yeah, I'm not fucking good, but I'm not going to tell you that when that's what you're asking, right? So I think we don't really have that time to do that. And then we get so exhausted constantly being bombarded by information that there is nothing left in us at the end of the day. And so what we do, we resort to doom scrolling, or we resort to, everybody has their own vices. But that constant onslaught of information and not really knowing what to do with it, completely forgetting what critical thinking is and how do we supposed to process information, because there is just simply no time. It's like the next news, the next news, the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. And even if we don't focus on politics, it doesn't really matter, right? It just that constant onslaught of information, it's everywhere. It's pop culture, it's science, it's entertainment, it's politics, it's media, it's whatever it is. It's just a constant, every minute flash of news. Mm-hmm. And we've never really had to deal with it. Yeah. I mean, if you remember it, we come from the times where we wrote letters to each other and it took them 2 weeks to arrive.
Mm-hmm. We knocked on our neighbor's door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we didn't text them, right? There was that human connection, which to me I think is we have a part of all this that we're talking about. There's an isolation issue within our world, and I think that's why community is so important. Because if we just stay in these things, to your point, like the 24-hour news cycle in general, even when we were kids, the 24-hour news cycle was there, not as abundant as it is now. Once these social media platforms came into play, the cycle is real.
Well,
every
now
time
you're attached to it.
You're attached
to it.
You can't
turn it off.
Yeah, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, we could have plugged the TV off or the radio off.
Let's discuss. It eats at your fucking soul. You pick this thing up, and all of a sudden it's negative. It's negative. It's negative. It's negative. And not all the time is it negative, but many times right now in our society is there. Then you look at it and you go back to critical thinking, and like, I think that's important. I'm not trying to sit here to say that I know everything. I'm here to say what is truth. We don't know really what truth is. Anybody that says that they know 100% what truth is, watch out for that person, because
And there's no truth right now. Nobody is chasing truth. Everybody is chasing news.
Yeah.
And news is not.
And the headlines and their side and picking their side, not realizing that this cycle of history has happened in the past. The difference is we didn't have this thing that we're so connected to. So maybe people didn't see it and it wasn't right in front of their face as much as it is now. But now it is. So now to be able to build good rhythms and to be able to not get yourself lost in an algorithm. I want to remind people that are watching, our biases fuel our algorithms. Our stereotypes fuel our algorithms. Hate can fuel our algorithms. To me, that's not what makes being a human great. It's things like love. It's things like coming together. Me and you have a common word that we like to use about impact. What type of positive impact can we leave on our world? But if we're staying in this thing, in this constant news cycle, and right now I feel like it's very much an us and them. No matter what side you're on, it's us and them. How is that going to make for a better tomorrow? It's not. And it's my reason for having you on the show is it's your life experience. You've seen so much. But at the end of the day, you come to like what's so important. And that's like, to me, I see you working with people collectively that we probably don't all have the same opinions, but we're going after this same thing within our mission to be able to serve people and to be able to help people and help uplift people. There's people in our community that think the same, and there's people in our communities that think differently. But we're coming together for the greater good. We're getting out of our algorithm, which I think is really a big part of what I inspire people to do. I know that's where they see this show in the algorithm on YouTube or on Spotify, which I hope they follow. But if we're staying in our algorithms and we're not connecting with people one-on-one in our community that think like us and that don't think like us, and we're going to be missing what this life is. And to your point, all this goes really quick. So how much time are we going to waste getting lost in an algorithm, getting raged out by something, being upset with something, instead of let's get together, let's make a positive change, and wherever you're at, just do one little move and look to be able to create something positive with other people around you that have similar views about that thing. Not about everything, but about that thing. When during our conversation, you said remove the noise and focus on what you can control. This is noise to me. I think there's other ways of noise. The 24-hour news cycle in general, this on TV could be that. There's other things that could be noise as well. What does that actually look like in everyday life for you?
The removing the noise?
Yeah.
I mean, I do try to stay away from social media altogether. I do it for work because I kind of have to. But I do try to stay away from social media. And the social media that I have is very well curated. It's literally just programmed to show me only things that bring me joy.
Bunnies. Sorry.
I mean, a version of bunnies, I guess. Let's put it this way. But I think more and more as I get older and as I go through my life experiences, what I've found more and more that grounds me is people having conversations with people that are not surface level. And when I say that, I know a lot of us are kind of running after this, like, oh, I want deep, I don't want shallow, I don't want this, I don't want that. But really, when you come to a conversation with somebody, it's like we don't really know how to go about it, right? We don't really know what questions to ask. People don't really know how to respond. I think we don't have that muscle of conversation anymore because we're used to that pace. Like it's a sound bite. You have to continuously go. You have to say something. It can be afterwards retweeted or posted or, put on a meme or whatever. And so what I found myself more and more doing is going back to the people that I've collected this band of vagabonds throughout my life, and I cherish them beyond. I can't even explain how much they mean to me. And they are people I disagree with a lot, right? Some things we agree on, but these are people that I can have a conversation with. I can start a random, just throw a question at them and they will think about it and they will answer. They will not answer to answer because I'm a next thing on the list. They will answer because they thought about it. And through those conversations, I've discovered so much. Oh my God. I've learned these people even more. I fell in love with them even more. And I've been trying to ground myself in those conversations and kind of trying to go deeper and deeper and deeper, even with my family, right? We're all over the world. I don't have family. I have family in the United States on my husband's side that I absolutely adore, but my family is all over the world. And staying connected is very hard. Connected on a level that you still care about each other. Staying connected on a level of, hey, everything is okay, yes, fine, okay, good, thanks for checking in. Like, that's easy, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't want that. You want something that will keep you connected, that will keep you feel like you belong to something that is bigger than you. Because I think when we forget that we belong to something that is bigger than us, then we'll lose sight of what's important. And so that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to surround myself with conversations that are interesting, curious, edgy, with people that I know will be okay disagreeing with me and not hating me for it afterwards, and will be okay with me disagreeing with them and not hating them afterwards. Mm-hmm. And so everybody that kind of gotten along on this journey with me over the last year, because I've kind of been going hard over the last year with this, I am extremely appreciative of them because they've opened their hearts to me and they were vulnerable. I hate vulnerability. That's like a curse word in my book. But I'm learning through them. And I think it's extremely important to have somebody you are real with, mm-hmm. because then you forget who you are if you're not.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I look at my life with that, and I didn't always have really good friends that I could get real with. I had really good friends, but it was surface level. And I feel like when you find those people that you could go deep with, or like, I'm having a shitty day, it's because of this. This is my view on this. And maybe they have a difference of opinion, but they still listen and they still seek to understand. I think that's kind of a part that makes life, is having good friends that you could go deep with, or good acquaintances. I don't think the algorithm gives us the deep conversations. Everybody just wants to prove their point, and nobody gets the opportunity to listen to or to understand somebody's heart and why they're making that decision, which I think is one of the reasons maybe why we're in this cycle that we're in right now.
Well, I think we just we got used to being told that we have to disagree. And it has to be very
It's where best ideas come out from. Yeah.
Right? Not disagree. I'm sorry. I'm going to amend myself. That we have to agree. Like, mm-hmm. if I don't agree with you, I'm not on your side. But I think that misses the entire conversation. Mm-hmm. Because if you constantly with somebody who agrees with you, you never get an objective opinion. And whoever agrees with you, and again, it doesn't really matter. Politics, religion, sex, whatever it is, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the thing anything. You're talking about, sure. Right? But if you constantly is with someone who agrees with you, that's confirmation bias. You will never step outside of your comfort zone. You will never learn something new. You will never maybe see the errors of your ways, or you may never prove somebody wrong if you are constantly with people who agree with you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's healthy to disagree, and I think we should embrace that more.
Yeah, I agree with you. My dad used to always say, if we're all thinking alike, none of us are really thinking. And as I gotten older, and it's been through the things that I've been through, I come back to that. Because I don't think we all should agree on everything. And I agree with you on that. But what if we were able to come to the table and we're both be able to talk, we're both able to seek to understand one another and look to build that win-win, what could we build in our world? What could we, because at the end of the day, I don't think we're that far off. If we really talk to each other, we're going to have differences of opinion. We're going to have things and biases that maybe we have to work on, and maybe things that we have to learn and unlearn. But what if we truly came to that table with humility, with grace, and with seeking to understand that other person? We could build something special.
I think we can build something special. I think we can build a world that will not fall apart if somebody tells us that it should. Mm-hmm. I think that's the main idea, because especially the whole idea of building from within, right, and neighbors helping neighbors, and starting from the bottom up and not from up down, I think that's extremely important, because the more we build a world that is tolerant and that knows how to listen and disagree respectfully, mm-hmm. the more all of that fluff is going to go away, because it's not going to matter. Because at the end of the day, as people say, the proof is in the pudding, right? And can you actually show that you're making a difference, that you're helping somebody, that somebody's life became better because you were a part of it, or because of the effort that you supported here on the ground? If you can see that, A, it's going to make you feel better. B, it's probably going to restore a little bit of a faith in humanity in you. Mm-hmm. C, you may have a conversation that will open your eyes. D, maybe somebody will have a conversation with you that will open their eyes. And I think if we try to just chill for a second and just kind of exhale collectively and be like, okay, well, I know what is happening all around, but what is actually happening right here, right now? And where that one little thing I can control, that one little thing that can selfishly help me feel better about what I'm doing with my life. Because I think a lot of people, and obviously not everybody is driven or ambitious, and I don't think everybody has to be driven or ambitious. I think everybody has their own part in the lives that they live and the world that we live in, but it's just how you approach it. Are you approaching it with kindness? Are you approaching it from a perspective that you're the smartest of them all? There's a difference in that. And the people that I think we should surround ourselves with, the people I surround myself with, is the people who essentially are okay with saying, well, yeah, I need to chill. I'm good with that. I'm fine disconnecting. I'm fine putting all of the things aside, be that media or not, digital or not. Doesn't matter. We all escape in different ways. Mm-hmm. But I think in a way it's funny. I was thinking about it right now, because a few years ago, me and my friend went to like a quick trip on the East Coast. And we were in Connecticut, in, I think it's Yale University is there, right? Correct
Sure.
me if I'm wrong. Like, yeah, whatever. Okay, we're going to fix that. Whoever, check us. One of the biggest Ivy League universities, right? And we were walking through the space. It's beautiful, it's green. And she was telling me about this person that she was following. Yeah, by the way, Russian is my main language. English is a second language. So if I fuck these things up, don't worry about it. She was telling me about this thing that she learned about touching the grass, and I was making fun of her. I was just ruthless. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, oh, no, you don't understand. You have to, stand like this, and you have to, walk with your feet on the ground and hands on the ground, and it just kind of resets your mind and all that. And I love her to death. It's one of my greatest best friends in the whole universe, and there are a lot of things that we are just not. She's smart as fuck, miles and miles ahead of me. And so in a lot of cases, I'm like, huh? And we talked about it. I kind of accepted it as a concept. I'm like, okay, that looks fine and that's awesome. And right now we were talking about it and I'm like, oh, holy shit, we need to touch the grass. Because in a way, that's a perfect metaphor for what we all are trying to do. We're trying to stop ourselves from continuously running towards the wall. And I mean, what is the better way to ground yourself than just, hug a tree or touch the grass and just feel something that your body can actually connect to. And I'm not going about it in a, wara shish kamba type of way. I'm just saying, If there is a thing that can pull you out, you got to do that thing. You got to remind yourself why you're here, why you're doing it, how far you've come, how far the people around you've come, and then what makes you pause. Whatever reason, right? You can call it being present. You can call it being, ascended. You can call it, people call it so many different ways. But the essence of it is, do you know how to stop?
Yeah. And I think I could speak for me as a person who's only lived here in America. We're really not good at stillness. But what I've learned as I've grown into life and have worked through things, stillness is maybe the most important thing that we need to learn and sit with ourselves and to sit with what we're feeling, what we're working through, and to be able to identify, to be able to talk to your maker, whatever that is for people, and the universe, God, whatever that is, Buddhism, I don't care. I think if it's an operating system for you, I recommend that you do it more often. But it's the stillness piece, which when I heard you touching the grass piece, you're getting rooted. You're rooted to what's real. So when you could sit in stillness, you could go meditate, you could go sit in the grass, you could go touch the grass. Our perspectives could shift. Our perspectives could broaden. And I think that's really something that I hope more of us could learn to be able to do here in America, because I think we learn what the true essence of life is and what we could do here on earth when we sit in that stillness and we sit there and be present, we listen, and we work through the things that we need to work through. But sometimes that shit's hard.
Oh, it's horrible. I despise it. I will be the first one to say, I fucking hate stillness. I hate silence. I hate stillness. I'm not the person who can just sit with myself. The moment I sit with myself, oh my God, panic attack is coming. Like, I'm going to be freaking out because it's just everything that I've ever pushed away is just going to come rushing down on me. And I hate that feeling. And it's horrible. But I think that's why it's important to find what grounds you. Because when you find what grounds you, you at least start to notice that life is happening instead of constantly keeping yourself busy.
Mm-hmm. We learn it's not about us. It's not, I say it's not about you. I say that to myself when I see myself spinning and all this. You take yourself from a macro level and just look above yourself, see all the world around you, and you see it's not about you. There's a collectiveness that is here. And if we listen and we sit in that stillness, we find ways to be able to ground us. Not only can we heal internally, but we could be better for our neighbors. We could be better for people in our community. We could be better at our jobs. We could be better at everything. And I think that's so important right now, because I think that we're in this time of division where I know people that think differently than me, and they're amazing people. They're the biggest hearts out of people I know, and I see them show up regularly, but they think differently than me. What I've learned is a book I read called The Righteous Mind, talking about how religion and politics and really just understanding the human psyche of it. We all think and come from a place of wanting to be able to do good, but there's some integral pieces that are around there. Importance to be able to understand one another and listen to each other, but know that most of us are coming from good. To me, if I didn't get to that stillness and I allowed to be pulled into that tornado, I would have never have gotten to that place. And so I go back to stillness is so important, and community. To me, your life journey was one of the reasons why I'm like, man, I see her heart. I see her show up. I see her giving. I see her serving. I see her leading. And she has this really diverse worldview because of her life's experience. You were born in Russia. You got it on your shirt right now. Show your mom.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this for you.
What part of Russia were you born in?
Far East.
Far East. What was the town? Do you mind sharing it? Yeah.
The town is called Vladivostok,
Okay.
or Vladivostok. That's the proper name of it.
Beautiful town. You show me pictures. That bridge is a big part of your childhood. You could see that. Was it from your backyard you could see it, or from your neighbor?
So the bridge was built in 2010s.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, there was no bridge. But I grew up, so Vladivostok is half an island. It's surrounded by Japanese Sea, so no matter where I look, I see the water. I see the sea, and that flows into Pacific Ocean. So I grew up on a shore of a Pacific Ocean in this gorgeous place that, if you think like American equivalent, think Seattle, hills and water. Hills upon hills and water upon water. Yeah. And that's one of the best places on earth as far as I'm concerned.
It's beautiful.
I would present.
It's beautiful. You left Russia and you moved to Israel, right? And you lived in Israel for how many years?
I lived in Israel for about 6, 7, 8, something like that. Cool. I always get confused.
Enough to get the culture, enough to feel it, right? And then now you've been in America, I think you said 15 years,
15,
right?
It's about to be 15 on January 27th, yeah.
Cool. So you've seen just different societies, how different people work, how different people live. And to me, I think that's so important because I think sometimes as Americans, we're in this silo. And we only know what it's like to be American. And I'll just say it as an American. I think we're kind of spoiled, and we've been spoiled, and we lack perspective. And I think in how lucky we have truly been. And to me, I hope we still are. So you're born in Russia, lived in Israel, and have been in the U.S. for 15 years. When you look at those experiences together, what did each place teach you about people and community?
So I think I'm going to talk about all three first, and then I'm going to touch base on individual, if that's okay.
Go, yeah.
We bounce around a lot, right? City to city, country to country. And I think that experience, I would never trade this experience for anything, right? Because each time you come to a new place, you have to figure out how it works. What makes it tick? Who are the people? Can you fit in it? Can you find yourself in that new place, in that new culture, in that new society? And the more you do that, the more you see that the places you come to are not, they are stereotypical in a lot of ways, but they're also not. And I think that's the biggest lesson I learned. Whatever idea I have of a place, country, state, nationality, race, whatever it is never accurate. It is never accurate. And I no longer come into places, I mean, I don't think I've ever had just because the way I grew up, but even more so now, I make a conscious kind of attempt to come in without looking for those stereotypes. Because, I mean, the way the human brain works, we like to label things, right? It's easy for us because once we label something as danger, then our body reacts.
It's protection, right?
Yeah. But I'm trying to, I mean, a lot of people probably would say that I'm naive to a fault, but I'm trying to be open-minded about it and kind of consciously be open-minded about it and think that whatever preconceived notions I have of places, I will be disappointed. Some of them will prove right, some of them will prove wrong, some of them probably will be 180 degrees opposite of what I thought it was. And each place that I've lived in kind of taught me that. But more so, I grew up in Russia of 90s, right? I was born 86, whoever wants to do the math, do the math. Tail end of Soviet Union. Right, I was a child when the Soviet Union fell, when there was a whole upheaval in Moscow and, the tanks and all of that great stuff. And then we lived in a ruin, right? Your money suddenly mean nothing. They're worth nothing. You have nothing. You don't have jobs. You don't have anything. Like many families of people my age and a little bit older, a little bit younger, we grew up in a state of constant poverty, right? Like one of the favorite things, funnily enough, about my childhood is like seeing what my grandfather is going to get paid with the next time, because like one day it's a couch, one day it's,
it's like trade when countries fall,
15 pounds
your dollar
rice,
falls and it becomes trade, right?
Exactly.
Most Americans probably don't understand or realize that.
And it's some people think it is horrible, and I understand that. If I think about it now, it's probably not a best childhood to have. At the same time, I had an extremely loving family. I had a family that believed in this like communal living. We lived at some point like 10 people in one apartment, and I learned to take everything in stride. It's like a thing. It's ingrained, right? You just kind of like, okay, well, what's next? Like you move on, right? Whatever happened, it happened. Now you have to adapt. And so I think in a way, I grew up with the spirit of adapting, pivoting constantly, and finding good in whatever happens. And I'm grateful for my mom because she also has this like outcome view of life, right? And I think one of my grandmothers just was this sunshine of a person who, no matter how horrible life was to her, she always smiled. It's like she had this.
Is that where you get your smile from?
She was my light for a very, very long time.
Beautiful.
I think that like there is a joke in Russian culture, right? There's like Far Eastern spirit, and that Far Eastern spirit is this, right? Is this girl with a tiger, right? I grew up in a place where a lot of wild tigers. I mean, everybody talks about bears, but no, we had tigers. It's Amur tiger. It's like one of the rare species of tigers, and it's that I feel very proud being from that place, embodying that spirit. It makes me tick. It makes me maybe stoic, maybe emotionally stunted, maybe, horrified of anything to do with vulnerability, emotions, openness of any kind, right? I don't like this. I hate it. At the same time,
Hence why I had to chase you for 80 episodes.
That's why you had to chase me for so long. But at the same time, I am so proud of that heritage, of being from there. Like I would never, ever, ever in my life trade where I'm from for anything else, because it runs in my blood, right? Like I have this tattoo now because that's my heart. My heart beats with that city, with that sea, with those hills, with those mountains, with that never-ending desire to survive. And it just absolutely, it floors me each time I think about it. When I look at my family, I look at every single one of them, and they all been through a gamut. Like, think my life story is hard. No. That's why I don't like talking about it, because if I look at everybody around me, I can point 100 people that had it worse than me, and they are still happy and going and absolutely amazing.
When you grow up poor, especially, that's poverty, that's a different type of poor than I think what many Americans know, but you find it, would you agree that you find your joy from something other than money, from things that don't cost a dime? Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, one of the best childhood memories I've ever had was like sliding down the hill when it was snowing. And mind you, I grew up in a city that, again, was a bad joke of the entire country back in like 90s, because we never had water and we had never had electricity. Mm-hmm. We were one of those cities. Like there was a joke that if there is no water in the faucet and there's no electricity in your switch, that it means you're on Vladivostok. Like that was literally a thing, right? But at the same time, the amount of like shadow theater presentations me and my siblings did to our family, the amount of Scrabble games that we played with candlelight, the amount of things that you kind of figure out how to do, and it just, for me personally, and I know a lot of my family feels differently about it because we all had different experiences. Like we had the same one but very different, and I'm also talking about like disagreeing, right? And what I perceive as a good thing, my sibling can perceive as something that was very traumatic. And I accept that, like I understand that. But at the same time, these are, weirdly enough, very warm memories for me, because they were about that just honest joy, honest hardship, honest support, right? Everybody had to band together. Like, we grew up in a way that whoever gets home first cooks dinner. It doesn't matter whether you're 6, 5, 8, 12, 15, 25, 60, right? You do it. You clean, you take the dog out, you make dinner for everybody, right? And then you feed everybody, and then you clean. Like, everybody had to do it. And it was, in a way, I think, like my school of life, because from then onward, everything was hard, but nothing was really hard, if that makes sense. Like,
Sure.
It was just a thing you do.
Mm-hmm.
And
You adapt, right? As humans, that's what we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can do this because I can do it, because there's nobody else who will do it but me. And so why worry about it? You just keep going on, right? You keep on walking. And so I think I've took that into then my move to Israel, and I've been in Israel a couple of times. I was there when I was 14, and then I came back. And then I went again when I was 19, and that's when I met my husband. And I just came home and I said, Mom, I'm moving. Going back, right? Love is a powerful thing. And I moved to Israel, and we started to live our life together. I was 20, he was 21. We had nothing, knew nothing. It's a new country, and yes, we spoke the language, but it was kind of, everything was new for us. And that was a different, completely different society, completely different set of issues, troubles. We were also poor. Nothing changed there.
You said one thing that spoke out to me about Israel, not to cut you off, but it was just how diverse it was. Like, there was just so many different levels of opinions that are there for different reasons. But keep going.
Oh, absolutely, right? And that's one of the biggest jokes, right? There are as many Jews as there are opinions, or there are as many opinions as there are Jews. Because it's also a society that came together because of a trauma. And everybody had a different trauma, and everybody had a different way of kind of pulling out of it or dealing with it. And I came into a society that was constantly on the brink of war. And I was very lucky, because the years that I've been in Israel were not as hard as when my husband was there in school, or when my siblings were there in school, or after I left, with everything that happened since then in the early 2020s. But that was a society that taught me how to love history, because Israel is a tiny, 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 tiny country, but it's so full of that breadcrumbs of human history. And it's everything, right? It's Christian, it's Muslim, it's Judaism, it's every possible religion of every possible color, of every possible, denomination, whatever it is, right? And in this tiny little place, all these people somehow still manage to live. Now, I'm going to say that obviously it's not working out very well, and not always. But on a day-to-day basis, it was an extremely mind-boggling experience, because funnily enough, I came into it with an idea, okay, well, I'm Russian, right? There are so many Russian Jews in there. Everybody, their mother speaks Russian. And so we're supposed to help each other. And that was like one of the biggest disappointments that I had to come to terms with, because Russians in Israel did not help Russians in Israel.
Really?
It was like a very...
What's the reason?
You are for yourself type. Well, the reason was, and I mean, I don't know how it is right now, right? I haven't lived in Israel for a very long time, and my family has a very diverse friend group, and like everybody we know are good, obviously, because we know them and we love them, and like we surrounded ourselves with people that we trust and we adore. But it was this kind of, I think, in a way, it was this approach of, well, I pulled myself by bootstraps and nobody helped me. Why do I have to help you? You have to figure that out on your own too.
Seems like that's in America
right?
Too. Yeah.
But we also came into that country and into that space with an idea that we are coming to you. So it is our job to adapt, to learn the language, to assimilate into the country, to not stand there on the corner and demand that you owe something to me because you didn't invite me. I came. I wanted a better life. I wanted a different place to live in. I wanted to be closer to my family or whatever it is, right? Whatever the reason is, like you assimilate. And I've learned a lot in Israel about that assimilation without losing yourself. That I think a lot of people were trying to balance out. And that was beautiful because that was a lesson in, again, humility and a lesson in not knowing, not expecting anything because you would be proven wrong. And that goes for any kind of relationships. I've had friends that were Arabs. I had friends that were like from Panama. I had friends from all over the world, and they all had different views and opinions on what's happening in Israel, what's supposed to happen in Israel. And yet somehow you learn how to navigate through all of this and how to be kind to each other and how to not discount somebody's suffering, but yet not really take it on, right? And I think that was also an important lesson. And if we're going city by city, Jerusalem is that for me. That if Israel is a country, Jerusalem is the city for me. That is the place that I would want to continuously coming back to because it gives you, I don't know how to explain this, but it gives you that touch the grass feeling. Once you get over how old it is, because that's a terrifying feeling, a lot of people get freaked out in Israel, just because in Jerusalem in particular, because
it's thousands of years old.
It
right?
just it dawns on you. You feel it on your shoulders. It's heavy, but then you learn to fall in love with it and embrace it. And it's when I walk the streets of Jerusalem, I get goosebumps. Like I am an emotional wreck in the best possible way. Everything that happens in that city is sacred for me. And I've learned that spirit, that soul. Like if Vladivostok is my heart, Jerusalem is my soul. It's that understanding that you're nothing. In the best possible way. You don't mean anything. Any fucking thing. You don't matter. Because this life, this human history will continue going on. And whatever
we will repeat ourselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We will make the same mistakes. But more so, whatever ego you have, check it at the gate because you mean nothing. And I love that message. And it's not to say that you're worthless. But it's to say that you're not special. Like there is this song that I absolutely adore from, I don't remember who it is by, Shine something. But it says, stop chasing your 15 minutes of fame because you're not special. And I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm just trying to, I don't remember like the exact words, but like I'm just trying to be honest. None of us are special.
Nope.
We're not. And as long as we kind of like keep going at it with just, I am the knight of this kingdom, it's never going to work. And so Jerusalem for me is that humbling piece. You take that ego and you absolutely crush it in between these stones that have been there for centuries. And you're like, oh, okay, I can breathe better now. I can breathe easier because I know I mean nothing. And that means that all I can do is focus on how to be better for those that I love. Because everything else it doesn't matter. It's stupid. It's superficial. And it's going to change the same way as the rights to, Jerusalem changed so many times throughout the history. It was under Turks. It was under Roman Empire. It was Ottoman Empire. Like so many different countries, nations, states claimed ownership of that place, and it still stayed the same. It stayed Jerusalem, not belonging to anything, just standing there as this monument to how not important we are. And I think there's beauty in it.
during our call to be able to get ready for this, you shared the idea of local America and global America are different. What do you mean by that?
So I think when we came to the United States, I personally, I'm not going to speak for my family, right, or my husband or anybody, but I personally had this Hollywood picture of America, right? Like what we see in the movies, right? And I grew up in the 90s, so it's like Mean Girls and, everything about the high school lunchroom and all that. I don't know, we need to go, right?
No, we're good.
Okay. So I had this idea of what America is to the world. And that's when I say global America, like that's the America that we imagine of what it should be, what we were fed, what we were told, what we learned through usually pop culture, right? And I had this idea coming here that the global America, the America that we see, the America that I expected to see from the movies, the yellow buses, all of that great stuff, that it was the real America. And we came here in 2011. We came to Naperville, which was extremely lucky, right? Again, if somebody asks me where I'm from in America, I am from Naperville. I'm a Naperville to a core, with everything that comes with it. That is the place of my safety, and me becoming an American. I became an American in Naperville. We lived in Naperville for 12 years. And I've embodied that little place. I absolutely adore it. And when we just came, so we arrived, and the next day it was like the great blizzard of 2011.
I remember that, yeah.
Right? And just mind you, we came from Israel, right? So I haven't seen snow in like good 6 years. And because obviously I come from far east of Russia, where snow is a normal thing. But like that was my first introduction to America, where the next day you step out and you're in this Christmas miracle, right? Everything, the lights are everywhere. My mother-in-law used to live in this awesome little neighborhood. Everybody was helping everybody. It was like this tiny little America of, the Hallmark movies. It was very cute. It was just very awesome. It was pure. It was nice. And I will tell you that for a very long time, well, maybe not very long time, but for a little while, like that global America that I imagined was that America for me, right? The places we lived in, even looking for a job, it was just an interesting experience because everybody was so friendly and it was so just excited to help you, because we were literally going just door to door. My mother-in-law would just drop us off at the plaza and we would go like Dollar Tree, Michael's, Myers, whatever is there, right? And everybody was just this ray of sunshine, just smiley and happy and, offering places to work or where to go if they didn't have anything. And it was beautiful and it was amazing and it was different. And it was also different because for the first time in our lives, in my life, we didn't have to work for like 18 hours to be able to afford to leave, which was a huge change, right? When I think about local America, I think about the American of opportunities because that was it for us. Like literally, it's a country, it's a land of opportunities. You can come in and you can do whatever you want, and then if you put your mind to it, you're going to be successful. And we've seen that, right? We've made it happen. We went to college, we found jobs, we figured out how to speak language. We moved out of my mother-in-law's house in 3 months because we started working. We got a car for the first time in our lives, which I could never imagine affording a car in Israel back then, right? Or anything. It was just a thing of luxury. I could spend money without thinking about it. And it was a mindfuck because I did not know how to spend money without thinking about it. I just went overboard for a little while because it's that freedom that you
never experienced it.
Right? Yeah. And that financial freedom was that global America for me, what global America meant, that you're in this land of opportunities and whatever you set your mind to, you will be able to accomplish because you can do all of it. And then, obviously, as you grow up as you get deeper into the place you live in, as you get to the bottom of things and you start seeing certain things, I realized that for my own kind of personal opinion, there is a global America and there is a local America. And that local America is America that I experience on a daily basis. It's the place where I go to work. It's a place where, I grocery shop. It's the people that I met. And that America operates very independently of the America of national security, of like outwardly view of what it's supposed to be. And I think the two do not connect. I think the two did not connect for a very, 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 very long time. But I think right now that chasm, what's the word? Chasm, like a split.
Not sure.
That canyon between like local America and global America keeps growing. And I think it's important for us to focus on the local America, because from local America, the global will grow. I think we can change the tidal wave this way to connect that. And that's as easy as, like, I love, for a very long time, I was like a diehard fan of Freakonomics, the podcast. And they had a very interesting episode about engineers versus idea people. And I loved it because that whole approach to America is the country of people with ideas, because we are a land of opportunities, right? We are a land of entrepreneurs and businessmen and women and, businesses, small, big, doesn't matter. But what we forget and what we lose in that race to create new, we forget to maintain what's there. And that's our roads, our bridges, our, railroads, our systems, all of that, and just basic human decency. We forget that because we are not engineers. We are idea people. And it kind of resonated with me a lot. I did not want to be an idea person. I wanted to be an engineer. When I was trying to figure it, and I'm talking about it as if it was like a conscious thought. It wasn't. But when we moved to the United States, for the first time in my life, I was alone. Like, I had my husband, and honestly, without him, I don't know where I would have been. He's just that, I don't even know how to describe what he is, but he's, he's everything, right? But he's everything that enabled me to become a person. I don't think I've ever actually been a person until I came to the United States. And that's one of the reasons why I love the United States, because I've always been of someone. Like, I've always been of my family or of my friends. And I am the type of person who falls very hard and very quickly. And then it's either do or die for me. Like, I don't do half measures. I either absolutely love you or I have nothing to do with you. And I would disappear in a relationship, be that like my friends, my family, whatever it is. And then when I came here, I suddenly did not have that place to disappear into. So I had to learn who I was and what I can actually do on my own. And can I build myself? Can I create that Liz that everybody will know as Liz Karsten? Because there was nothing. She was no one. She did not exist. And I had to build that person. And as I was building that person slowly, just kind of piece by piece from different things without even realizing that I was building her as an engineer, as a person who will do rather than dream. Because can I dream? Possibly, but I'm also a person that has very high expectations and my goalpost is constantly moving. Like, I will never stop. But I found solace and pleasure in making other people's dreams come true because I knew how to build them, and I knew how to just put my head down and work and just keep on going, and just brick by brick you just put this together, and everybody else goes and puts an idea, breaks it, puts an idea, breaks it, puts an idea, breaks it. But I would continue kind of rolling as asphalt, so people can keep on building, but we will still have places to drive to or means of getting to the next destination or whatever it is. And so I think as I was kind of going through this development of my own, I realized that local America, we have a lot of engineers. Nobody sees them. Nobody recognizes them.
We need them.
And nobody pays attention to the fact that we need them. Because we keep chasing the ideas, but we never stop to think that there's going to be no place to build the idea in if the place we are a part of is going to fall apart. So, yeah.
Drop that mic. There's so much there. And I know we're getting close to the end here. But
sorry, I think
I think that's the point, right? And to me, my call to action to America as we get last few questions here, and is for us to work together as dreamers and engineers, and sit at the table with diverse opinions, and let's build this shit, and let's build it better than we've ever have before, and let's put the simple things in life that are the most important at our highest priorities, and let's build some really wonderful things. But in order to do that, we need to be in touch with our spirit. We need to be in touch with who we are internally. We need to get our fucking egos out of our way, because we need dreamers. We need engineers. We need, to me, you say engineers. I see like it's a builder to me. It's the executor.
Yeah, but
it's all this. I could dream all day long, but unless I have somebody like you along with me, I'm fucking off in space. We could build a better tomorrow, but we have to come to the table together. And I think we need that. And it, to your point, is a part of your conversation. It starts local. There's not anything that we could do from a federal level other than vote and do our best we can. But what we can do is we can make positive change within our local communities. Let the dreamers come together with the engineers, the builders, the doers, and together we can make a brighter tomorrow. And that's what I hope for us. That's what I was hoping and praying for from within your story in some way of like your life's experience. I feel like we could learn so much. And what I love about this is like you were nervous and then you just started flowing and being you. And that's why I wanted to have the conversation.
That was just going to make me shut up.
Yeah, I think it's good. The outside world could be heavy, but if we come together, if we dream, if we work with people that are doers, that have good hearts, we could create a really strong, vibrant local community, local state, local world, or not local world, global world. But it's going to come for us coming together, working collectively and collaboratively to be able to do that. I want to ask you a couple questions, and then we'll wrap up. Kind of a little bit of a rapid fire here, and we'll go from there. But it's about fulfillment and getting to the heart. You said everyone needs an outlet, something that pulls them back to themselves. Why do you think that's essential to living well?
Because we all need a base we can fall back to. And if we don't have that base, we keep falling. And it's a bottomless pit. And then you never stop. And if you never stop, there's no way for you to go back to who you were or to who you want to be, right? It doesn't matter. I think it's important to have some kind of access, be that your loved one, be that, a thing you're passionate about, be that something that grounds you, that is rooted deeply in you, be that, even if it's a love to for yourself, right? As long as that's a thing you can always go back to, I think that's what's important.
Your
right?
center.
Your center.
Yeah.
You know where you can go back and reset.
My friends, I think we're stronger together, and I'm trying to bring people to the table that I think are going to give us diverse worldviews to help us open up our worldviews and our perspectives. See, myself included, I only know what I know about my life. But when I lead with curiosity, when I lead with a tender heart, when I lead with wanting to know and understand where people come from, I think I think the world could shift in a positive way. Just like she said, the tide could roll in a different way. But in order to do that, we're going to have to go in and we're going to have to take that time for stillness. As Liz said, we're going to have to touch that grass, hug a tree, and to get what's real in this world. My challenge to you is take yourself out of yourself, get rid of your fucking ego, and go to a really high level, macro level, and look down. And then ask yourself, what am I here for? And how can I leave this world better than I found it? I promise you, if you come at that place from a place of kindness and a place of wanting to be able to like join in the community with people and go after a greater good that's bigger than yourself, where the dreamers and the builders and the engineers come together and they execute together off a common vision, we could change our local communities. I think that's important. That's why I think stories are important. Fear could stop us. The shit we don't know, the people we don't know about could scare us. Lean in. I promise you most of us are coming from a place of good. Get involved in the community. Start doing good things in your local community. It's important. Support local, love local. We're stronger together. Peace.